My best friend hacked my life for months, until I found the hidden folder he left behind. And when I opened it, I realized he wasn't trying to ruin me. He was trying to replace me. My name is Daniel Reeves, and this is my revenge story. For most of my life, I believed in loyalty more than anything. Loyalty to friends, loyalty to family, loyalty to the people who stood by me when I had nothing. I grew up in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Chicago, raised by a single mother who worked double shifts to keep us afloat. She always told me, "Choose your friends carefully, Danny. The wrong ones can burn your whole life down." I never really understood what she meant. Not until the year everything I trusted collapsed beneath my feet. Not until I met the real version of Tyler Brooks, my best friend since freshman year of high school, the guy who knew everything about me, the guy who stood next to me in every school photo, the guy I trusted more than anyone else on this earth, and the guy who betrayed me so deeply that it took everything in me not to burn him to the ground the second I found the truth. But revenge is a dish better served cold, and mine was frozen solid. It started 6 months ago, when I got accepted into an exclusive cybersecurity internship, a big deal for someone from my background. I had worked for it for years, sacrificed nights, weekends, relationships. My best friend hacked my life for months, until I found the hidden folder he left behind. And when I opened it, I realized he wasn't trying to ruin me. He was trying to replace me. My name is Daniel Reeves, and this is my revenge story. For most of my life, I believed in loyalty more than anything. Loyalty to friends, loyalty to family, loyalty to the people who stood by me when I had nothing. I grew up in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Chicago, raised by a single mother who worked double shifts to keep us afloat. She always told me, "Choose your friends carefully, Danny. The wrong ones can burn your whole life down." I never really understood what she meant. Not until the year everything I trusted collapsed beneath my feet. Not until I met the real version of Tyler Brooks, my best friend since freshman year of high school, the guy who knew everything about me, the guy who stood next to me in every school photo, the guy I trusted more than anyone else on this earth, and the guy who betrayed me so deeply that it took everything in me not to burn him to the ground the second I found the truth. But revenge is a dish better served cold, and mine was frozen solid. It started 6 months ago, when I got accepted into an exclusive cybersecurity internship, a big deal for someone from my background. I had worked for it for years, sacrificed nights, weekends, relationships. Tyler said he was proud of me. He celebrated with me, bought me drinks, shouted my name in the bar like I'd won the Nobel Prize. I thought he meant it. But you can never see the cracks in a person until the right pressure hits them. 2 weeks before my internship began, something strange happened. I applied for a small apartment closer to downtown. Nothing fancy, just enough to cut my commute. I had the deposit, the paperwork, everything ready. But when the landlord called me back, his voice was nervous. He said, "Sorry, Daniel, but after reviewing your background check, we can't approve your application." I froze. "What background check?" "Well," he hesitated, "we found this." An email popped up on my phone, a screenshot of the rejection reason. Fraud alert attached to social records. Multiple suspicious financial transactions flagged, potential identity manipulation. It felt like someone had punched me in the gut. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't random. Someone had done this intentionally. I immediately checked my bank accounts, my credit, everything. 3 credit cards had been opened in my name,
A small loan application was filed under my identity. Attempts were made to change the primary email linked to my accounts. My whole digital life was under attack. I filed reports, froze my credit, contacted the FTC, spoke to my bank. But one question kept drilling into my skull. Who would do this to me? I told Tyler everything. He sat on my couch with his jaw clenched, brows furrowed, pretending to be angry on my behalf. "Dude, that's messed up. Who do you think would go after you like that?" I couldn't tell. I was too distraught to see what was right in front of me. Tyler offered to help me investigate. He said I shouldn't go through it alone. So for weeks, we dug through everything. Files, logs, IP traces, emails. Tyler printed spreadsheets, highlighted timestamps, asked smart questions. I actually felt grateful. Until one night when I realized something that made my heart stop. Tyler kept asking questions that only the attacker would know to ask. Questions about exact timestamps. Questions about which device I used on which day. Questions about recovery email codes I never told him about.
I brushed it off as coincidence. Biggest mistake of my life. The truth hit me 2 weeks later. My mom had given me a box of old family possessions. Photos, letters, memories. And buried at the bottom was something I hadn't seen in years. My old high school laptop. The one I used before I built my custom computer. Out of curiosity, I plugged it in. It was slow, barely alive, but it booted up. I checked my old files, homework, games, codes, personal notes. And then I saw it. A folder named Tyler's Copy. My blood froze. I opened it. Inside were dozens of files, screenshots of my passwords, a photo of the back of my ID, old security questions, copies of my school applications, even drafts of my personal essays, all saved on a day from 3 years ago, the day Tyler borrowed my laptop because his battery died. My hands were shaking. My throat was dry. He had access to everything. For years. He kept copies. For years. And now, my identity was being attacked. I wanted to scream, break something, go to his house and confront him. But something held me back. If he had this much access, how far had he already gone? So, I did what he never expected. I pretended not to know. The next day, Tyler came over with pizza, acting exactly like my best friend again. Laughing, talking, joking. I studied him like a stranger. His smile was too wide, his jokes too forced, his eyes always darting to my phone, to my laptop, to the papers on my table. He was waiting for updates. He was waiting for panic. And I realized something horrifying. Tyler wasn't helping me investigate. He was monitoring the damage he caused. He wanted to watch me crumble. He was addicted to seeing me struggle. Why? I didn't know. But I would find out. And when I did, I would make sure he regretted every second of it. For the next week, I set the trap. I applied for a fake job online using a spare email account. I created a false digital trail, a false recovery phone number, false browsing history, even false credit information. I labeled certain files on my laptop, bait files, with misleading names like internship passwords, security codes, account data personal. Then I set up a small tracking script. Anyone who opened those files would have their IP, device ID, and timestamp recorded and sent to my phone immediately.
I didn't have to wait long. On a Thursday night at 1:14 a.m., my phone buzzed. Alert! File accessed. IP 192.47. Device Asus ROG Strix. Location Tyler Brooks's house. I stared at the notification, the truth burning into my mind like fire. My best friend, my brother, was the one destroying my life behind my back. A wave of emotions crashed through me. Anger, betrayal, shock, hatred, confusion, grief. I wanted to drive to his house and beat the truth out of him. But revenge isn't anger. Revenge is math. Cold, precise, calculated. I collected every log, every IP record, every screenshot. I documented every fraudulent account, every credit charge, every email attempt. I built a digital wall of evidence so strong that no lawyer could break it. And then I went for the final piece. Tyler had a habit of leaving his bedroom window open because he claimed he liked fresh air. His window led to the side roof just above the garage. That Saturday, he left for work at the bookstore. I climbed onto the roof, opened the window, slipped inside, and finally saw the monster behind the mask. Tyler's room looked normal at first. Messy, loud posters, old clothes on the floor, but inside his closet was something that made my stomach twist. A bulletin board, filled with pictures of me, screenshots of my emails, logs of my schedules, copies of my applications, lists of every password I had ever changed, color-coded, organized, obsessive, and in the middle of the board, a picture of me from our high school graduation, a red X carved across my face. I felt the world tilt, my breath turning cold. This wasn't jealousy. This wasn't impulsive. This was premeditated, planned, a fixation. Tyler didn't want to ruin my life. He wanted to become me. He applied for internships in my name. He tried to open accounts under my identity. He answered my recovery questions before I did. He tracked my every achievement, and each time I succeeded, he took it like a personal attack. My existence threatened his. My progress reminded him he wasn't enough. And so he tried to destroy me. I took pictures of everything, every inch of that room, every creepy note, every stolen file. Then I slipped out quietly. That night, I waited for him to come over. He arrived smiling, holding 2 sodas like nothing was wrong. "Bro, big news," he said. "I think I found something new in your bank logs." I looked at him calmly. "Yeah, because I found something too." His face twitched. "What?" I pulled out my phone and opened the folder titled Tyler Brooks, Full Evidence. For the first time in our friendship, Tyler went silent. I opened image after image. My laptop folder, the bulletin board, the fraudulent accounts, the IP logs, his device ID, his browsing timestamps. With every tap, his face changed. First confusion, then panic, then dread, then pure fear. His voice cracked. "Daniel, this isn't what you think." "Oh, it's exactly what I think," I said softly. "You hacked my accounts. You stole my identity. You destroyed my apartment application, my credit, my internship paperwork. No, listen, I was trying to protect you." "Stop." He froze. "Why did you do it?" His jaw trembled. His eyes darted. He swallowed hard. Then finally, after months of deception, Tyler spoke the truth. "You were leaving me behind." Of all answers, that was the last one I expected. He collapsed into a chair, shaking. "You're smarter than me, better than me. Everyone sees it. Teachers, girls, employers, even your mom. I'm nothing compared to you, Daniel. Nothing." "That's not true." "Yes, it is," he shouted, voice cracking. "You were moving to the city, getting a big internship, starting a real career. And I'm just me, stuck here, working at a bookstore. No future, no skills, nothing." I stayed quiet. He whispered, "I didn't want to hurt you. I just wanted to slow you down, keep you here a little longer, make you stay my friend." My blood boiled. "So you ruined my life?" Tyler's voice broke. "I just didn't want to lose you." For the first time since this nightmare began, I saw him clearly. A fractured, insecure, pathetic boy, drowning in his own jealousy. Not a monster, just a coward. "I trusted you, Tyler. You were my brother." "I know," he whispered, tears streaming. "Please don't turn me in. I'll fix everything. I'll delete everything. I interrupted. "You're right. You will fix everything." And he did. Because I forced him. I made him reverse every fraudulent action, close every account, submit written admissions to every company, transfer proof of identity theft to the authorities, clear every false record, restore my credit, rebuild the damage. And then I ended our friendship. But that wasn't the end of my revenge, because when Tyler finished repairing everything he destroyed, I turned in all the evidence anyway. Not out of spite, not out of cruelty, but because some people only learn when consequences hit them directly. 2 weeks later, Tyler Brooks was arrested for identity theft, cyber fraud, data stalking, digital harassment, financial impersonation. He cried when they put the cuffs on him, begged, screamed, said my name over and over. But I didn't watch. I didn't need to. My mom stood beside me. "You okay, Danny?" I exhaled slowly. "Yeah, I think I finally am." Tyler destroyed the version of me that trusted blindly, but he built a version of me that understood not everyone who stands beside you is your friend. Not everyone who smiles cares. And betrayal from someone you love hurts more than any enemy's attack. But the conclusion of all of this? I survived. I got my internship. I moved to the city. I rebuilt my life brick by brick, and I became someone Tyler could never destroy again. Revenge didn't just save me. It taught me the most important lesson of my life. Sometimes the people closest to you hold the sharpest knives, and sometimes justice means letting them cut themselves with it.